Firstly, I'd like to thank the Honorable Union Minister, Shri Venkaiah Naidu Garu, for accepting our invitation and for being the chief guest at this occasion. Thank you very much, sir, for readily accepting our invitation, and thank you so much for being here. Honorable Chairman of NASSCOM, Shri BVR Mohan Reddy Garu, Pratap Parode, the man who is responsible for the gathering today, founder and president of Smart Cities Council of India, Jayesh Ranjan, our IT Secretary, Mr. Samir Sharma, Mrs. Aluwalia, Mrs. Ishar Aluwalia, and Vincent, and also Professor Carlo Ratti, and to all the distinguished gathering here, friends from the media. Once again, happy that this wonderful event is happening in Hyderabad, the National Conclave on Smart Technologies. I think it was Pratap who said, smart technologies and smart cities is an idea whose time has come. And to extend a bit on that, I think nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. And now I think India, as was put earlier, very accurately and very succinctly by the earlier speaker, is definitely at an inflection point where we are set to take off, set to leverage the wonderful things that are happening across the world, especially in the technology space. Now, there is a popular misconception, there is a popular misunderstanding that when we refer to smart technologies, we are only referring to cities and cities alone, cities and towns, if I may add. In fact, incidentally, I am of the firm belief that smart technologies definitely are only as smart as the people that are going to use them. So we may have the fanciest of technologies, we may have the fanciest of tools, but unless you prepare your people, unless you prepare your municipalities, unless you prepare your local bodies, unless you prepare your administration to be able to use them, unless the back end is strong, I think it's futile. But at the same time, the popular misconception that smart technologies are only applicable for urban settings is also wrong. India today, I believe, has young population, which is more than 50% of its total population, about 127 crores, and out of which more than half is young. And these young people, let me remind you, 70% of India still lives in the rural areas. And out of these young people, significant portion of them are also well educated. They are adept at using technology, very tech savvy. They may be residing in a village, but at the same time, they're extremely tech savvy and they're wanting to do more. And I believe firmly that technology is the greatest leveler, irrespective of where you are. You could be in a village, you could be in a town, you could be in a metro, irrespective of where you are. The very fact that technology can actually be a leveler and give you that level playing field where you can compete with a metro or a town or a municipality or a corporation or a village, irrespective of where you are physically. It gives you that opportunity to compete, learn and imbibe. And now, technology also, unless it brings about a social change, I think it's futile. We can come up with the fanciest of technologies. In fact, let me just give you an anecdote. Some time back, about 6 months back, there was this fantastic multinational company which specializes in smart technologies. They had come to me, especially after Mr. Venkaiah Naidu and Government of India has launched the Smart Cities project. We've received number of requests from various technology companies for us to listen to them, take a look at the products that they have to offer, etc., etc. So we were sitting and chatting. What happened then was, this gentleman gave me a fancy presentation on a PowerPoint. He was telling me how in Barcelona, how they've deployed this technology and elsewhere as well, Los Angeles, etc. And he was telling me how smartly you can manage your traffic. I said, wonderful. What do you do? He goes, when you are traveling on a road and when somebody abruptly cuts a lane, I can send you a trigger. I can send you an alert to your traffic command and control center. Only when somebody cuts a lane abruptly. So I said, why don't you actually give me an alert when somebody is coming at me in a one-way traffic? He looks at me and he goes, why would you need that? I said, welcome to India. The point I'm trying to make is, what is applicable, what is good and what is fantastic on a piece of paper or in Barcelona or in Los Angeles or in New York or in London may not be relevant here. I think India needs to find its own solutions. We have to find our own recipes. We have to find our own formulas. Whatever is being done elsewhere may not be, you may not just be able to take it off the rack, bring it to India, implement it in Hyderabad or Delhi or Bombay and say this works. One size doesn't fit all. That's the challenge of smart technologies. We have some fantastic organizations present here. We have some fantastic people who've dabbled in disruptive technologies here. We also have number of municipal corporations, municipal chairmen, municipalities being represented here by their public representatives. They also want to understand what are the best practices that are being practiced in India. They also want to imbibe the best.